Hello everyone, this is Brad Johnson here, and in this Conscious Matrix Communication video we're going to be talking about becoming the multi-dimensional. So, when we're looking at the idea of this present life, when we're moving more into an awoken state of consciousness and we're really grounding ourselves, we really feel centered to the point where our transfixion, so to speak, our focus is based upon this physical reality. One may feel, why is there so much focus in regards to this state of functioning within a theme relating to this earth life? If we're multi-dimensional beings, why aren't we experiencing the multi-dimensions of different themes through us? That's simply because the human being here, oops, get a different pen, this one's dying. The human being here has what's known as filters. Okay? So basically this entire body functioning in this way, everything that represents the idea of the ego, is creating this filter of focus in regards to this life. The ego truly is the primary function that is creating this filtration, that's preventing us from looking more deeply in regards to what we are as multi-dimensional beings. So it's a themed illusion that gives us the premise of feeling that we are just functioning in this body, in this reality, in this theme, because this is exactly what we're creating through the concept of the ego in regards to aspirations, in regards to other particular forms of traits, ambitions, passion. We're functioning in this way because this is where we feel that the ego is in control. And so we're unable to connect to those other multi-dimensional aspects of ourselves. We're feeling that because I have these traits, these ambitions, these passions, this feeling of desire, that I'm becoming more focused in regards to what I am as the self. So anytime that you're saying the two words, I am, you're giving a statement in regards to self-principle. But there really is no such thing as the self. Or rather, there is the illusion of the self, and then there is the all. And so as long as you are saying, I am, you're giving the fulfillment of principle relating to self matters. So again, this is where the ego comes in. So the ego can come to the point of saying that I am, and indeed you are. But you're only reaching a state of fulfillment in regards to an affirmation of the I am. And this gives you further clarification of how you are achieving the pinnacle of the self. But you're much more than the self. And so the more that you can unassign the meaning that you give to yourself, the more that these borders fall. This is what a lot of particular ancient masters in our time have learned, is that through the transcendence of the ego comes the reconnection to all dimensions, where you can feel your connection to all things, where you live your connection to all things. You're not so much grounded in this physical reality based on an ego complex, you're moving much more into the prosperity of multi-dimensional cohesion. So all aspects of your being, whatever they may be, existing in different realms and different dimensions, on different planets, different experiences, they're all coming together in regards to an amalgamation effect, but the amalgamation effect now is broadening its horizons in regards to you actually simultaneously experiencing that. So like you would imagine a bank of television sets that all show different pictures. this is the whole idea where you're imagining that. The entire bank of television sets, or you're seeing a photo with multiple exposures, where one area is a little bit more opacitated than the other, and another area is a little less opacitated than the other, etc. So you're all basically going through this multi-dimensional concept. So the whole idea here is really just to move into the function of understanding that the ego itself is only here as a barrier. It's here as a shield. It's here as a filter to helping you reach a state to where this aspect of yourself is entering into a state of clarity of multidimensionality. It is cohesive with the multi-dimensional matrix. And this is what's preventing you from actually experiencing the multi-dimensionality and the cohesion and the awareness of everything that you are within the universe. So let me just go ahead and erase this. So we're going to look a little bit deeper in regards to transcending past the idea of the I am. Now again, the I am is indeed a very powerful statement, and it does have a very strong, powerful, wonderful philosophy. So when you're just looking at the I am, so this gives you the idea of how you are. I am angelic. I am focused. I am human. I am love. I am light. I am good. I am evil. I am the centeredness, or just centered. Okay? So these are all particular statements that you're giving in regards to definition that can be brought forth to the I am. And of course, there's millions of others that you can think of off the top of your head, no doubt. But any time that you're giving a definition of yourself, you're giving a feeling of predeterminism. You're giving yourself a feeling of that which you can relate to with identity. Now, when you're multi-dimensional, gotta remember where to keep my eraser. When you're multi-dimensional, it's not about that at all. So here's the core of what you are. And that the I am is within this core. It's not the feeling that the I am is ever without it. It's always within. So the definitions will always be within that. But then you have this extra area to where all borders continue to bring themselves in, but you understand that everything is created within. And so now it's looking at isness. Isness is the principle to allness. And so when you're looking at the whole idea of saying, well, what is it that's keeping me anchored in this reality? That's just allowing myself to focus with this body, to focus with these scenarios, to focus with this theme in this reality. It's all the ambitions, principles, and definitions of the I am. So it's more so into the point of understanding that while you are I am, you are the isness beyond I am. So that's the whole idea, is in that representation of the isness beyond the I am in regards to an assignment. You're focusing more now on the idea of divine will, rather than feeling that everything is free will. So, divine will acclimates to isness. Free will acclimates to I am. So what does that mean? When you're functioning together with divine will, you have no ambition, you have no passion, you have no drive, you have no determination, you have nothing that represents a state of motivation to change. You are becoming that is change. It is a naturalness. And so the law of naturalness.
Thank you so much, and it is so great.
The law of naturalness itself functions within the principle of divine will. This is the law of naturalness. You're no longer ambitious in regards to becoming that which is more. It's a natural occurrence. You start doing things within your life to where the personality self could never conceive of them doing that. Why is that? It's because you're vibrating more to the idea of the law of naturalness. Free will is great, and again, it really does have certain principles, but it's a stepping stone. You know, you have to get from one stair to the other. So right here would be free will, and right here would be divine will. You're taking those steps at a time. You need to understand the fundamental principles that relate to free will before you can step up to the next level of divine will. And so divine will truly is naturalness. It is without drive, it is without ambition, it is without passion. It's all of that. However, you do need drive, you do need ambition, you do need passion. All of these particular elements through free will in order for you to get to there. So, do you see what's being said here? That the multidimensionality is in relation to everything beyond what you can define. So, many of the ancient yogi masters, many of the shamans on our planet have talked about the ability of transcending past the self into feeling that when you feel that you have access to know all, you are as serene as knowing nothing. Alright? So that is a bit of a paradox, but this is the way of how it is. That many of the ancient philosophers on our planet was always talking about, since you know all, or rather know nothing. That's the paradox of how their relationship goes. It's the yin and yang. So when you have access to know all, yet you utilize the form of feeling that you do not need to know anything, then you're moving more so into the concept of what it is to function within divine will, to function with the law of naturalness. Does a bird have ambition to fly? Does a bird have passion to go from its nest to fly off and get some food? No. It simply results itself into the degree of naturalness. Animals don't have memory, and they do not have thought the way that we would understand. It's all process. It's all the part of instinctual naturalness. And so it's that instinctual naturalness that allows them to take flight, that has this program that they're functioning within the theme. Yet they are coherent in regards to all life that exists upon the planet. Whether one predatory animal attacks another, there is mutual respect. The lion does not see the gazelle as an inferior. It understands that its programming in order to function, to eat, to nourish, is to take down another and to consume that, because that's going back to the earth. The animal on a soul level has no objection to that, because it will lay down its life in order for it to be recycled upon everything else that benefits it, in regards to feeding the lion, in regards to bringing its flesh, its bones, back into the earth, recycling itself. The soul does not cease to exist. So what if we started seeing ourselves in this way? What if we started seeing how everything that we do within life functions on divine will? And it's not about waiting for everybody else to get it. It's only about allowing yourself to realize it. Okay? You are becoming multidimensionality. And so when you are functioning past the degree of passion, of ambition, when you're moving past all of these particular traits, and you see reality for what it truly is in regards to the law of naturalness, then you're making contact with everything that you are. You're in connection with your angelic principle. You're in connection with your astral principles. You're in connection with your mental principles. You're in connection with the Akashic principles, with the manifestation principles, with light principles, with soul principles. They're all principles. They're not symbols. They are simply the idea of strands or facets that represents your multi-dimensional principle. So we're not talking about selves here. For lack of a better term, we're referring to them as principles, because they are ideas. They are the formless form. They function in paradox. So when you allow yourself to be clear, when you unassign yourself a feeling that you belong to something, that you need to own up to something, that you have responsibility for something, then you're connecting with the multidimensional selves, and you're not just focusing on this life. This life is only looking to represent itself into the feeling of knowing that it has reached a state of completion. And the state of completion is when you're bringing more of those multidimensional principles in yourself by according yourself to the law of naturalness, rather than to the I am. Okay? This is meant to be surpassed. It's a principle, it's an idea, and again it represents the pinnacle of self-completion. So when you are past the I am, then you're moving more into the law of naturalness. You're moving more into divine will. It's not about free will anymore. Free will is great with this. Alright? It's great with that, because you have the idea of feeling choice. You have the idea of making decision. But you're no longer going to be doing that. It's not about making decisions. It's not about a thought process that triggers an action. It's about the naturalness that provides immediate, spontaneous, synchronous action. Action and reaction become one and the same. There's no longer a split between the two. You're not functioning within an action-reaction premise in regards to the accordance of the I am free will principle. You're moving now into divine will, where everything is going beyond character. Everything is going beyond persona. And this is what's happening in regards to our third density to fourth density changeover. Many people whom I've talked to have felt that they have been performing actions that have gone against their own awareness of personalized consciousness. That they've been taking action upon themselves and feeling that they've been going beyond free will. That they've been taking action and they just naturally give themselves over to perform these actions that are coherent with divine will. It's because they're fading out of this idea of passion and ambition. And again, like I said, it's an important first step that you follow your passion, that you move into these positive alignments so that you be brought into balance. This is the result of the balance, the law of naturalness. Alright? So I know this is a lot to ponder, but it's something to think of, and I think I'll probably do another video down the road, but it's just something for you to think about tonight in regards to the law of naturalness. How can I become more natural and less obligated in regards to personal barriers? Because when you transcend those personal barriers, that's when you return to multidimensionality and you become it. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any other questions with this video, feel free to drop me an email, info@areyouselfempowered.com. Much love to you all. Take care. Namaste, and may it be well with you. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please remember to check us out on areyouselfempowered.com for conscious matrix communication, private sessions, either by Skype, one-on-one, or through email readings as well too. A new service that has been brought forward. Akashic perspective sessions in regards to knowing more about your life stream, past lives, future lives, helping you to understand more of the facets relating to your whole being. Body regeneration healing sessions, helping to repair organs, helping to repair other aspects of your body, anything physical, anything energetic, as well as enhancements as well too. And of course, digital download courses that you can grab online as well too, all through areyouselfempowered.com. Thank you very much for watching. Looking forward to talking to you very soon. Much love. Namaste.